This is my Raspberry Pi and I want to set it up with an operating system. I bought it from Core Electronics in Australia because I'm in New Zealand. It's the easiest way for me to do it. I've got an SD card or micro SD card that will go into there. Sadly mine's only a 32 gig one, but never mind. And I've also got a USB SD card reader that I can plug into my computer because I'm going to install an operating system on it, and I'm going to use an application called Etcher to do it. So I'm going to click on Etcher and I'm going to download Etcher. Etcher sense my system, so I'm going to download that. I need a operating system for my Raspberry Pi, so I've gone to Google and typed in Raspberry Pi, and there's the Raspberry Pi website. I'm going to go to downloads. I want Raspbian. I want the light version because I just want to use it as a server. I'm going to download the zip. I'm going to go to my downloads and I have Raspbian Stretch Lite and I have Etcher. I'm going to unzip these. Extract. Quit. I'm going to extract Etcher. I'm going to run Etcher, but first I've got to put the SD card reader with the SD card in it into my computer. Etcher comes as a app image. That means it just runs by itself. It doesn't need anything to be installed, so you just run it. Double click it. Yes. Select the image you want. There it is. Raspbian Stretch Lite. Open that. Select drive. I want the 31 gig one. Select that. Continue. And I'm going to install the operating system onto the SD card. Linux requires a password. The flashing process is continuing. It's installing the operating system onto the SD card. The installation has finished. Now it's time to set up the Raspbian operating system with a few files. Go to the micro SD and click on boot. It opens two folders or two directories. One is called roofs and one is called boot. It's the boot one we're interested in. I've created two files to put into this directory. The first one is called SSH. The second one is WPA supplicant. SSH is empty, so you can just go over here and right click, go to documents, create an empty file and call it SSH. That's all you need to do. There it is there. Create a file called WPA _supplicant.conf. In this file, add this material. The most important is the SSID, which is your network name, and PSK, which is the password to your network. Save these and add this file to your boot of your SD card for your Raspberry Pi. If for some reason you have trouble copying them into the directory, as I did, you just go over to the right hand side, right click and go create document, empty file, SSH for the SSH file and click create, and there it is. So I've created those two files. Now I can eject the operating system from my computer and put it into the Raspberry Pi and boot the Raspberry Pi, and it will connect to my Wi-Fi router. I placed the SD card into the Raspberry Pi Zero, and I plugged in the top power port of the Raspberry Pi Zero. Now I'm using Linux, so I'm using the Linux terminal. To get into my freshly started Raspberry Pi, I type in SSH pi at, and then I put the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. I found that out because I went into my router and found a new item being listed, and I took the IP address off that. So I went into my router to find the IP address of the newly installed or the newly started up Raspberry Pi. So I'm just going to press enter and type in yes, and the password is probably Raspberry. There, I'm in. So the password is Raspberry for a fresh install. So I've set my Raspberry Pi up, and I'm ready to turn it into a server. And on that server there's going to be a book, and the book is going to be how I created a Raspberry Pi server. And it's going to have all the details of what I did. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to type in sudo raspberry config, and that's going to give me details about my Raspberry Pi. But I may as well start recording these details. There it is there. Now I'm going to record that, and I'm recording it in LibreOffice. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to call it Pi Zero Server. Okay. So I'm going to start saving all the details of what I'm doing. I'll just click tab, finish that. So what I did is I went to sudo raspberry config, and I'm going to go, well, I don't want to go there right now. There's a couple of details I want to do, and I'm going to write them in the book. And the details are, actually I better make that font a bit bigger. Oh, zoom in. No, I won't. Make the font bigger. Make that bigger. Okay. I've got to go sudo apt get update and sudo apt get upgrade. Now both these commands will make the Raspberry Pi installation totally up to date. Right click paste that. So we're going to update Raspberry Pi. And the upgrade is going to take a long time, I know that. So this is just getting the Pi ready and rearing and ready to go. And I'm beginning to write my book that is going to be downloadable. By the end of this session, this Raspberry Pi is going to be up and running, and it's going to have a database, it's going to be up and running, and it's going to have files that you can download. So that's tons of fun. I'm actually beginning to enjoy it. I'm over the hard bit. I've got it going. So it's updated. I'm just going to press the up arrow and go back and type in upgrade. And that's going to upgrade. This is the one that takes a long time. And once this is done, my system is totally and ready to do many changes to it and put the Apache server on it and start serving to the world. And I am going to put this Raspberry Pi on the net full time. And I've put a few firewalls up, and I don't know what's going to happen. Just have to see where it goes. I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to make it free, and I'll make it downloadable on the internet through my Raspberry Pi. It should be fun. Now the Raspberry Pi is 100% set up, so we're going to I'm just going to click in there and go up arrow, and go back to Raspberry config. Change the password. You will now be asked to enter a new password. I'm going to put in a password here. Okay. And put in the new password. Press enter again. Right, the new password is there. Now, one other thing I want to go to is the advanced options, and I click there and expand file system. I press the tab button and press the select, and I think I have to reboot after this. Boot partition has been resized. The file system will be enlarged upon the next reboot. Going to press tab. Oh no, just going to press OK, and that is finished. Would you like to reboot now? Yes, please. Remember the password? Right. And my Raspberry Pi is going to reboot, and my system is set up, and I'm ready to put the Apache web server on. Okay, the Raspberry Pi is booted up. I'm just going to press enter. Well, I actually press the up arrow there. We'll go on there. I press the up arrow. That's my other Raspberry Pi, 154. Now, this is 179. I'm going to go into that. I'm going to click SSH Pi 192.168. That's the IP address of my Raspberry Pi. Press enter. And remember the password. And I'm into my Raspberry Pi. Now it's time to now it's time to put the server in. Excellent. Remember, we today's effort is to write a downloadable book or a downloadable document, and sudo apt-get install Apache. That's going to that will install Apache. So we're going to go back here, right click that, paste that code in, and we're going to install Apache right now. Just press enter. And that's going to install Apache. Well, it looks like Apache is installed. We're just going to open up our browser and type in the IP address, and that is the IP address. Press enter. Apache is installed. Now I can actually serve to the world now and make that document downloadable to the world. But I want to do a few more things. I want to install a database server and a means of well, that's all, and a language called PHP, and then I'm sort of almost finished, so that's great. Now to install PHP. Now I'll just show you how much code I've got to do there. This is the book I'm writing, and this is one line, by the way. I didn't press enter over here. Okay, don't press enter. It's one line. I copied that, and I'm going to paste that right into the terminal. Right click, paste, press enter, and that's going to start installing PHP 7. So we cross fingers and we hope it works, but it seems to be working, so I'm sort of happy with that. I'm sort of standing on the shoulders of great programmers. Thank you very much, guys. Anyone who's helped put this together. Now I'm out of my Raspberry Pi now, and I'm in my local computer, and I'm going to open up a really fantastic program called Midnight Commander just by typing MC. Right, and what I'm going to do is over here I'm going to make it my local computer, and over here I'm going to go into the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi is on the right, and I click on Shell Link, and there, if you have a look, is the IP address of my new Raspberry Pi. And that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to get into there. It's going to ask for the password. So I'm in there. This is my local Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to go down to Ver, and I'm going to go to www, and I'm going to go to HTML and index. Now index is this file here, and I don't need this file anymore, so I'm going to delete that. Click on it and click that, and it's deleted. If I go back and refresh this page, it's gone. That's good. Now what I want to do now is write another file. Right, I'm in the documents folder. I know how to get there, so I'm going to create a document, and I'm going to call it index.php. And I'm going to open that, and I'm going to put this code here in. PHP info. Right, and I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go back to my documents folder. There it is there. and I'm going to copy that from my local computer to my remote computer, and I'm going to test to see whether my PHP is running. And now I'm going to press the reload button, and there we go. PHP has been successfully installed on my Raspberry Pi. I'm having a great time. I like it when a plan comes together. We're back in the Raspberry Pi, and I'm just going to shoot over to my illustrious book. Now we've installed Apache, we've installed PHP, and we've tested PHP. Now we're going to put a database onto the Raspberry Pi. And I'm going to paste that code there in, and that's going to put the database in. It's Maria MySQL. It's sort of almost exactly like MySQL, but it's called Maria MySQL. The history is MySQL was named after his daughter My, and Maria is his other daughter. So that's installing a database server, and we're going to get a database up and running. And I'm sort of eager to get this finished because the sun's out, and the dog wants a walk. Right, Maria SQL is there. It's not actually Maria MySQL, it's Maria SQL. And we are going to go into that database with this code here. I'm going to copy that. Go over here, right click, paste, enter password. I just press enter again. I didn't put a password in. So we're into the database. That means the database has been put there. And now we want to create a user for the database, which is of course going to be me. And you use this code here. I'm going to copy that. And put that into there. Right. Now I'm going to put my username and a password there. You see? You choose your own one. I'm not going to put it there because you've got to be careful with security. You could get hacked. I don't want to put anything on this computer that identifies me as me. No usernames, even though you probably will see the usernames, but certainly no passwords. Okay. And I want to grant that user all the privileges. So grant all privileges to the new user, which is the user you just created before. So we've created a user and we've given the user permission. It doesn't matter if I've done this sort of quickly. These aren't really tutorials, by the way. I'm just setting it up and showing you how I set it up. But I will go over all the details of everything later on. Now we want to install PHP MyAdmin. And this is a way of creating databases. PHP MyAdmin. Right, yes. It's a wee bit in depth. We've got passwords to put in and databases to select. But the installation seems to be going quite good. Thank you to the open source community for providing all this material for me. Okay, I'm going to press the space bar on my computer and you'll see the star. And that means I've selected Apache. I'm going to press the tab and go to OK. Right, I really have to learn what this is about. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm just going to press enter, but I must go back and really learn this one. And the password to get into your database. I'm going to say it again. Okay. We'll just go over the details of what we have to do. And we have to edit this file and we have to put this file at the end of it. At the very end. That's good. Right. As I said, we've got to do this. We're going to copy this and we're going to go back into the terminal and right click and paste that code in. It's going to open up a file and we want to go right to the end of this file, which is a long way away. Oh no, it's there. Okay, and we want to put that at the very end of it. Copy and right click paste and Control O to write out and press enter, and that's just written that, so that's good. Control X exits out. Now I think PHP MyAdmin is running. We're going to go test that. We're going to go /PHP MyAdmin. Is it running? I love it when a plan comes together. Now I'll just put, you're going to get to see my username, MP Skinner. Whoops, not MP Skinner Plus. And I'm going to put the password in. Remember we made the passwords before for the database user, but we'll go back to everything. Press enter. Right, that's it. I've got PHP MyAdmin running on my Raspberry Pi. Now once again, if you got lost, it doesn't matter, but everything I've done, I have included everything, but I'm going to go back over every detail that I've done and explain it. Google, not right now. So that's everything done. My Raspberry Pi is up and running. I've got PHP MyAdmin. Now that book, I want to get that book and make it downloadable to the world. Okay, that's the one thing I want to do. We don't need to do anything here anymore. We can leave that. Now the book I am writing is here. I want to make a manual on how I did this. So I want to upload this book. Right, so we're just going to close that. Oh, better save. Do a save. I might make it. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to export it as a PDF. Export as a PDF? Why not? Pi0 server, and I'm going to export it to my RAM disk. I love my RAM disk. I'm going to just save that. Okay, now I'm going to go to Midnight Commander. And I go to my right computer and log on as a shell link. Oh no, cancel that. That's wrong. Don't need that. I'm going to go to my terminal and go MC here on my local computer. And now I'm going to go to the right computer and it will know who I am. Shell link, there it is. By the way, it's pi at 192.168.179. Click OK. Put the password in. Okay, now where did I put that book? I exported it to where does it export to? I'll export it again. No, I would have done it to documents. No, I didn't. I did it to the RAM disk, so I know where it is. Okay. Right, so I'm going to go to my RAM disk. Oh, that's going to be fun. I don't think I'm going to... No, I'll do it to documents. I'll do it to documents. Make that bigger. Downloads, documents. Okay. Actually, I've got it. And I'm going to go to the remote. My remote computer. And I've got to make my file downloadable. So I have to write a bit of HTML. And it's in my documents. So everything's in my documents. Open the folder. I just want to get this done. Dog needs to walk. Documents. 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 Ah, it didn't get exported to my documents. We'll go back and do that again. Pi0. Export to documents. Pi0. Right. And there's my documents. So Pi0, that's the beginning of a book. Now I've just got to put that book onto here. Going to open that, and we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to do HTML page. To do a HTML page, you've got to figure out how to do HTML page. I will go W3 and HTML, and it'll give me a basic page. Oh, HTML basic. There it is. There. That's a very basic one. Copy that. Copy Bluefish. Right. Oh, what's that? Could it be a password? Who knows? Pi0. Right. We've got to go to documents. There, open that up. Control all, paste. Now, I can make that bigger. So you can see, and I call everything I do Zingaloo. That's the name of everything, because I want to create a application or some sort of thing called Zingaloo. It'll all come together later on. I called it Zingaloo because it's a very easy name to remember, and it's very searchable, and it's unique. And my book, I'll just call it my book. My book. And now I want a link. I wonder if I can remember how to do a link. I should be able to, but I'll just go is this searchable? Do they have a search? Search. Yeah, link. HTML links. Where's a link? There's a link. Or downloadable link. Who cares? Copy that. You can tell I just want to walk the dog. And I'm going to paste that link in there. Make it a bit smaller. And since it's going to be in the same area, what am I going to call the book? Zingaloo. Download that. Download Zingaloo. Download Zingaloo. Okay, and save that. I don't know if this is going to work, guys, but we'll see. Right, now just click that again. Whoops, documents, and there's Zingaloo PDF, and it's made a right. Pi0 server. I need to rename that. Zingaloo, and select that, copy. I can actually do multiples, but I don't know how to do multiples with this program. And yes, okay, and Zingaloo, copy. Okay, right, now we're going to go to index, refresh that page. Now, will it download? It does download. Now, my book. Now, all I have to do now is link this IP address in my router, and then it's going to be on the internet, and I'm not stopping. I'm leaving it all on the internet forever. It's probably a dangerous thing to do, but I'm going to do it. This is my downloadable book, and I'm really going to write this book. So, get on the router, change that to 179. I'm not going to show you what router I got. Or go into my routers and show you how I'm port forwarding. But, because of security reasons, but in a few minutes this is going to be ready to upload to the internet. Okay, I think I've done it. Now, this is my local IP address, but there it is. It's up and running. That there is my static IP address. If you type that in, you will get my book. But the page will be different because I'm going to update the page. So there we go. I've got a Raspberry Pi. I had a totally blank SD card, micro SD card. I installed an operating system on my Raspberry Pi, and I'm creating a book which is available to the world. I wonder if I should show you it on the cell phone. I won't, but there it is. I'm finished. I'm done. I hope you enjoyed it. This is day 1. Excellent. And don't forget to back up all your files, guys. Crikey. Yeah, have a good one. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'm exhausted. Dog, walkie times. Excellent.